I quit. It is time to live the dream. I am going to be paid to travel around the world delivering seminars in gyms. Sign me up. But oh boy, did this start an entire new chapter in my life. Welcome everyone to The Main Journey, a way for you to join me on a learning journey through life. My name is Samuel Main, and today we revisit a memory. I was studying sports coaching for my degree at UWIC University in Cardiff, Wales, and at the same time volunteering to coach in a CrossFit gym. I knew that when I finished in Cardiff, I wanted to go on and do something different, something new, and coaching CrossFit was a relatively new passion I'd come across. I searched online for gyms in cool locations and simply started sending emails to inquire to see if they need additional coaches. And I hit the jackpot. A Reebok sponsored gym in the heart of Dubai, UAE, Reebok CrossFit LifeSpark. It just so happened that they were soon to require a full-time coach. But before they could make any final decisions, I'd need to come out for a month in the Easter break and demonstrate my skills. I flew out, having never been to Dubai before, to meet a few strangers with no idea where I'd be sleeping, but I had a backpack and a desire for adventure. I remember being so far out of my depth with the coaching compared to the other incredible coaches that they had. I was learning how to swim whilst in deep water. The month quickly came to an end. I got the job, flew back to Cardiff to complete my remaining exams, and a day after my final exam, fly back out to Dubai to start full-time coaching. Missing my graduation because I was spending time on the beach in the UAE, I can't complain about that. I then spent 2 years learning from some of the best coaches and friends I could ask for. These were really transformative years for me looking back. I grew up a lot during this time, I think, anyway. Around 2 years in, as social media gained momentum and as I learnt of the possibilities of further traveling, I wanted to test the waters a little. I realized that my dream was to travel, and a way I could get paid to do this was to coach seminars in gyms around the world. I searched and searched for other people that could be doing exactly the same thing, and I eventually came across a person that we will call Frank. Frank was living my dream, gym hopping around the world and being paid to do so. I emailed Frank to ask a few questions about how he got started, hoping I could get a few pointers. And it just so happened Frank would be delivering a session in Abu Dhabi that weekend, and he'd open up a spot for me to join the seminar. Perfect. Couldn't have timed this any better. I went to the session, loved it, and asked Frank every question I could. And it just so happened that Frank needed help, and he was looking to bring on another coach. Wow, my dream is playing out. It is perfect. We set a start date, we built a plan, and went full steam ahead. The plan was for me to hand in my notice, move all of my items back to the UK, and then meet Frank in California for our first seminar. I followed the plan, handed in my notice, which was a massive move for me. That wasn't easy. I took all of my items back to the UK and was ready for the flight to the States. However, this is where things started to go downhill. Myself and Frank had been messaging, speaking on the phone, and communicating via email. When I returned to the UK, this all stopped in an instant. Frank ghosted me. No emails, no texts, no phone calls. I could not get hold of him. and we were supposed to be in the States by this point. 3 weeks passed. No news, zilch, nada. And I couldn't stay in the UK as I was couch surfing, and that's pretty uncomfortable. I was gutted. I'd gone from a job to my dream job to no job in the space of a few weeks. I feared the worst, actually. Had Frank got hurt and couldn't contact me? Had he lost all forms of communication? Had I done something to offend him? No news. So something had to change. I reached out to my connections and ended up accepting a full-time coaching role to set up a CrossFit gym in Phuket, Thailand. Not too bad. Around 3 months later, I received an apology message from Frank that he'd panicked when a few gyms in the States had pulled out of the seminars. And rather than discuss this with me, he took the opposite approach. The trust had been broken, but I was gutted as I could have arranged seminars for us to deliver because I'd been in the States for nearly a year by this point and I had a lot of contacts. To this day, despite leaving an incredible gym and moving away from my best friends, I don't regret taking the leap. The potential was fulfilling a dream of mine, and instead I ended up living in Thailand for just under a year, coaching thousands of people from all around the world in one of the most beautiful areas. I also now have no regrets about this time in my life. I left the comfortable to explore what could be. Imagine if I hadn't. This story today would be very different. It's fun to look back at these times. I remember my tenacity, emailing gyms all around the world to find a job, striving to be traveling around the world and paid to do so. That is a part of me I am building back up, that resilience and courage to pursue those dreams, regardless of if they play out or not, because by doing so, I won't have any regrets. So that's where I now come to you. What's a dream that you are pursuing? What is something you need to take the leap on? If you have enjoyed this little insight into my journey, let me know, because this is a slightly different approach to my usual episodes. Thanks for listening today, legends. I'll see you tomorrow.